that's out of Framingham.
Oh, okay, sick.
So I'm also from Mass. I'm out in Amherst pretty often. You guys are from Amherst, right? We'll get to that in the interview. I should probably start recording. I am
Yeah, sure.
recording, and I'm recording you guys, so I guess this is...
Ooh.
Welcome to the 11th or 12th episode, I'm not quite sure, of the Bughead podcast. The first or second episode of season 2. I have the fantastic guest GodFuck right here. How are y'all doing?
Awful. I mean, so good actually. Really good.
We're chilling.
Why don't you all introduce yourselves and tell me what you do in the band?
We kind of all do a lot of shit, but I do like a lot of the synth stuff and I do vocals and a little bit of guitar.
Say your names too.
Oh shit,
Oh
my name's
yeah, true.
Ethan, sorry. I'm Ethan.
I'm Pat. I do guitar live, and then on the recorded stuff, I program the drums on the EP and like a little bit of synth stuff.
I'm JC. I play drums and sometimes I yell too.
All right. So I guess first question, how did y'all get into the DIY music scene? What was like your introduction to going to smaller shows or independent?
Mom jeans.
I,
Pat, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I don't want to go first.
Okay. For me, man, that's hard. I think so. You could go like it's how far back you want to go. For me, there was a record label called Counterintuitive Records, and I was really into a lot of yeah,
I know I was a big Counterintuitive fan in high school.
yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so you get it.
I fucking loved that first Prince Daddy and the Hyena album they
Oh
put
yeah,
out.
that's a classic. All of the original Counterintuitive catalog is amazing.
Yeah.
So like I got into like like the Grad Life, Bay Faction, Who Loves You. And I was like, oh, I want to check these bands out live. They're really sick. And a lot of them were so small that they were playing like house venues and shit like that. So my first DIY show was a Grad Life Mom Jeans Oso Oso show in this like tiny ass house with like maybe like 30 people in it. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And so I went to more shows there. And eventually I went to shows that were like non-conventional where the bands actually just sounded like ass, but like not in a bad way, but like just like, wow, this is like anyone else would be like, this is really bad, but there's like a lot of heart and
Yep.
genuine stuff behind it. And so I was like, wow, that's cool. And that inspired me to make music and also to participate in the scene. So that's kind of like how I got into that shit.
All right. Next up.
For me, it's a little different. I had always like really been like a music head, and I like taught myself how to play drums when I was 15, so I've been going to concerts since about that same age, but none of them were like DIY shows or like house shows or anything like that. I started going to shows like that after I started playing in a band
Mm-hmm.
and like putting on shows myself locally with my friends, and then eventually playing with these guys. We play those kinds of shows. So mostly my experience has been like playing, but it's been an amazing experience and I've absolutely fallen in love. And like I'd always been into like screamo for as long as I can remember, so I'd always wanted to play shit like this and play in these kinds of environments, so it's been a really awesome experience.
Hell yeah.
My experience with like going to underground shows is kind of similar, but like more so, I used to go to bigger concerts, like similar to what JC said. Um, and then it was kind of like a natural progression where like I got really into hardcore. I started going to a bunch of hardcore shows that were at like relatively small venues, but not really like DIY, just like I don't know, places that can hold like a few hundred people or whatever. And then from there, uh, I started going to more house shows and whatnot, and like got into screamo, and then like joining the band. Obviously, we play places like that now.
Hell yeah. So the way I found you guys actually was through a QR code sticker on a gas pump in Amherst, Massachusetts.
Let's go.
That's real as fuck. That's so real.
Y'all are from Amherst, right?
Kind of
That's the
like
way I found this band too.
we're like kind of from Amherst. Like none
So
of us live there.
yeah, none of us live there. Out
I
of
live
all of the
there
three of us, yeah, well,
right
true, you
now.
do live there
Right
now.
now, kind of.
Right now, I do.
Out of the three of us, I was the only one who actually was like
I'm in an
born and
apartment.
lived there.
But like Western Mass, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Western Mass. It's kind of
Yes.
just like a point between all of us that we agree on. Like, hey, this is kind of like where the band is from. There were actually when the band was first well, I should say when Pat and I started doing like the Screamo show, we were kind of deciding between Northampton and Amherst to be like, are we from Amherst? Or are we from Northampton? And we settled on Amherst just because I think one of the reasons actually was because Orchid was from Amherst, and we're like, oh yeah, Orchid's sick as fuck. And also it's like a
So are the
central point, and he
Pixies.
goes, yeah, exactly. So we're like, oh, this is kind of a musical hub, and also Pat goes to school there, so it kind of just made sense. But yeah, we all live scattered throughout Western Mass.
I know you guys have played shows like throughout New England. So what do you think there's a difference between Western Mass and Eastern Mass shows? Because most of the shows I'm going to are Eastern Mass. Like the furthest west I go normally for shows is Worcester. What's the difference between Eastern Mass and Western Mass show audiences? Is there a difference or?
Um, I would personally say I think the biggest thing is actually age. I feel like a lot of the people in Western Mass are college kids or very young kids that are pretty unfamiliar with the scene. And so there's just kind of a different dynamic there. I feel like the Eastern side is a little more like they're like veterans kind of in the DIY space. And you see that a lot with, the spaces you go to, the people that come to the shows and the way it's just kind of ran. One's not better than the other, I don't think. They're just, different. I like them both for sure.
Yeah, that's like it's kind of tough. Like I'm not really too familiar with the Eastern Mass DIY scene, so it's kind of hard to gauge. But I think I agree with what Ethan said. There's like a big like uh, college scene out here with like the five colleges. So like a lot of the bands come from there, and a lot of like their audience is like students. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I noticed because we've played like uh Trendy Shit Town, which is like a house venue out east in like in the Boston area. I noticed like there's definitely different kinds of crowds like when we play out there and then when we used to play out here for sure. Just different kinds of kids, like, college kids out here, and then like over there it's more like I guess DIY oriented. There's not really any like well there's some DIY spaces here, but not like really any solidified, I don't think.
It's kind of lacking right now. We're in like a bit of a
Yeah,
lull.
it's kind of rough.
Yeah, hopefully in the future there's more DIY spaces that pop up that are more oriented towards like the music itself and like the scene.
I want to go back to those stickers. Has
Yeah.
that has having the QR code stickers plastered around been an effective marketing tool? Do you think that's helped you guys build your audience?
Uh, so I think I said it before, but that's literally how I joined the band. So it wouldn't exist
No
without
way.
the QR
Yeah.
stickers. Yeah. It's
It's
like it's not even a matter of like uh getting an audience. Like it wouldn't be. I mean, not that it wouldn't exist if the QR
but it
stickers
wouldn't
weren't a
exist.
thing, but like it
Yeah.
wouldn't be what it is now.
Yeah, that was probably like I'm not even joking. That might be like the most integral part of like why the band is what it is today. Like unironically, like that was like the ground zero for some reason was like being able to meet Pat and then through Pat meet JC and then also cultivate some small little community and share the art and like all that comes with that. It's like yeah, it's kind of insane. I haven't really thought about that until just now, but yeah, like that's yeah, it's
Those
been
stickers are
huge.
pretty eye catching. I've been I think it's a lot of the time it's kind of hard to get the internet algorithm to notice you.
hmm
So I still think like especially early on when you're trying to get out there as any kind of creative, having some kind of real world like out in the streets advertising,
Yeah.
like meeting people face to face in some form is still important. I think that's a cool thing for artists and creatives to do. And I think that little QR code sticker, it worked on me, dude. I mean,
No,
I
that's
think it's
awesome.
sick.
I agree. I think it's a really cool way because not only do you get your art out there, but you connect with people. People like reach out and they're like, "Hey, like I found this." I feel like they're more likely to engage with you because you left like an actual mark on the world, and they're like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
a real person that did this," and they'll reach out and be like, "Hey, I like your shit," or "Hey, I hate your shit," or whatever. But it's cool. I think it's been a lot of fun, honestly, and we still get cool shit today. I haven't put up a sticker or a poster in forever, but other people do, so that's kind and cool.
Hell yeah.
I think like in terms of like promotional stuff too, like having a sticker is cooler, and also uh internet like promotion can kind of like give you attention in the wrong ways, even if it gets popular. Um, a lot of like bands complain about like the TikTokification of like music and stuff. So like I think interacting with people that find you through the stickers is more valuable than like getting popular online and then like that's it.
I think you've like you both do interesting things both in the real world and digitally though, because was it? It's members of your guys' band that put on Obsidian Fest, right? That music festival in Minecraft.
Yeah.
That was us. It was us and BSDJ.
How was putting that together? I remember I watched a couple sets of that. I thought that was a fun little thing to do.
It was stressful, I'd say. It was really fun, but man, it was a lot of work to put together. We were really like in crunch mode those last few
It
days.
was crazy. The
I-
amount of hours that were like poured into that server is like unreal. It's probably more than like a lot of people have on like full games and just like
yeah,
creating the server.
I feel like we put as much time into that as we did as like creating the sound of computers thinking, or it's like any other release, because we did that and we made our own music set, coordinating, finding bands. It was a lot, but I feel like it was really fun, and I have a lot of nostalgia for it, and I'm looking forward to the next one for sure.
Do you think digital music festivals are going to become more of a thing? I know there's a lot of live streamed ones, and then also like there's been a couple. There was like Coachella during COVID, and then like the stuff in Fortnite. It feels like live music on the internet is going to become more and more of a thing. Y'all have any opinions on that?
I think it would be cool if it does, but like in terms of like its popularity in these past few years, I think it had a lot to do with COVID just being a thing and not being able to go to shows. So like the natural progression was to just do it online where it's safer. But even without that, I think it'd be a cool thing to pursue just because it's like an interesting concept and there's a lot of creative options and routes that you can take it.
I definitely think COVID like opened that door for that type of thing to happen. And it's like it wouldn't have happened if COVID didn't happen. I mean, like Stomach Bug, another fucking awesome band. They played in a show in Roblox. Like, like that's so sick. Like, how do you even do that?
That's so awesome.
That is really cool. So, what led each of you to want to do like a screamo or scrams band, and how did the electronic music aspect get folded in?
Do you want to go first?
I guess. So, so like I wasn't super familiar with screamo um, until like not too long before I joined the band. I think my first exposure to like screamo was probably either like through hardcore, just in passing, like maybe getting like Orchid or something and like shuffle, or my friend showing me Your Arms My Cocoon. I wasn't super familiar, but then I met Ethan through like the QR code, and then later on we met up like in person at some like UMass meeting thing, and then we like both kind of realized we liked that type of music. But prior to that, like GodFuck was a solo electronic project, and I was also at the time making electronic music, so that was something that we both liked. And I feel like with like the modern era of emo, combining screamo and electronic is not like that out of place. So it's just kind of like what we wanted to do, and we liked fifth wave and like the sound. So I think that's just kind of how it came about.
Yeah, I always wanted to so ever since I listened to like Old Gray when I was younger, I'd say like high school, I always wanted to do like the screamo thing. I just never had the ability to drum, and I feel like drumming is like such an integral part of screamo. So I just didn't. So I just did like a solo electronic thing for a while, and then like Pat said, we kind of figured it out from there. I think screamo is just I think what's cool about screamo is it's so approachable for from everyone. Like most people can scream, I would say. Like you can just yell really loudly and it's bad technique, but like you could still fucking do it. Not that you should learn good technique, but it's just so approachable. Like a lot of the instrumentation is generally very sloppy. It's very lo-fi, especially this new wave is very lo-fi, but it kind of always has been too. I don't know. I just think it's a very approachable genre, and for that reason, like I've always been really drawn to it because I can't sing for shit. I don't know. I just think it's cool. I think it's a cool genre, and especially when you're feeling shit, and it's a good way to express yourself. I don't know. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I'd always just liked screamo for as long as I can remember, because growing up in Amherst and just like being a nerdy kid, I just like researched the town I grew up in, found out there was this random weird band from my little town, and I just fell in love with their music, and I was like, yeah, I want to do shit like this. And I think I was probably like 14 or 15.
And that's Orchid you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And hopefully they do a reunion someday.
Yeah, I hope they come back. I really hope they come back.
Don't count on
That's
it.
the thing with when these screamo bands have a reunion, it's always like the tickets release like in a period where I'm broke or like super busy,
Yeah.
Yep,
and then they
for
sell
sure.
out immediately. Like that Seisha show in Philly. I'm not anywhere near fucking Philly. I don't have the money to go to Philly right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. That
And I don't have
sucks.
the money to like buy festival tickets. It always happens when I can't go.
Yeah, that's fucked up, honestly.
What kind of electronic music are you guys pulling from for Godfuck? Do you have any particular artists that you consider big inspirations for electronic?
I would say Pat is much more electronically well versed than I am. Like honestly, I would say a majority of my influence comes from 100 gecs. And then there's like small other things. Like I'm really into synthesizers, so a lot of my like synth shit I really just pull from like mess around with that. I wouldn't say there's much else myself, but Pat has a lot more, I think.
Yeah, I'm like I listen to a lot of electronic on my own time, but like in terms of what contributes to the project, it's kind of like I don't really know if there's like too much crossover just because a lot of the electronic I listen to is like breakcore, like hardcore, gabber, shit like that. So a lot of that appeared in like our Crying Obsidian Fest set, but like mostly I think the electronic influence comes from like other fifth wave bands that like kind of do similar things.
Any specific choices?
I mean, your
I
arms for
mean, yeah,
sure.
Your Arms, of course.
Of
That's like the
course.
big one. Um,
I feel like Rookie Card also is very inspirational
yeah,
early
yeah.
on. Civil War.
I think like a lot of my inspiration from electronic music, more so than like the sound or like genre, I guess. Let me rephrase this. Like, I think I get influence from electronic music in terms of like the sounds I pick and like synths and stuff, just like things that I think sound good, but not really much in terms of like genre. Yeah,
It's more of a textural influence.
yeah,
Or even like the production, I feel like as well. Like I feel like we produce our music a lot more than a lot of other screamo brands in the scene. Not that that's better or worse, it's just different, you know.
1 second. Let me get a cough drop in. I'm like I have a head cold right now. I apologize.
Oh no, I feel that.
Oh, you're good.
All right, the audience has to deal with me being like slightly lispy now.
Now we're chilling.
Um I haven't like in my notes just like talk about emo revival. I'm not sure exactly what like question I should ask about that. You guys were
that's a
like one of the
huge
first
question.
artists I started like paying attention to within the current emo revival. Do y'all have any like particular modern screamo bands that kind of got you hyped on the genre in a current sense?
Like modern meaning like newer bands or like bands still going on right now?
Like newer bands like past couple years.
I feel like I discovered a lot of bands that I like from in like a modern sense, like from playing with them. Like I didn't really know a lot about Catalyst before playing with them, but after I was like, holy shit, I really like this. And same with like Ulf, that's another big one. Party Hats, like all these bands we played with, I was like really impressed, and it's what I listen to a lot of the times. Before getting into like the screamo shit, I think like Your Arms and the ones we already said, Rookie Card, but those are
Mm.
big ones. But I find myself listening to a lot more like traditional sounding screamo, like Ulth and like Catalyst and like Party Hats and all that shit. I think it's really cool, personally.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like it feels like fifth wave kind of evolved into a revival in a similar time to screamo, because like it feels like bands like Your Arms are like very far removed from the screamo sound conventionally, but they still kind of both had a revival at the same time, which I thought was like pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And they feel so like married and entangled as well. Like they're not separate things. They're like one thing but not one thing. It's very like interesting. I don't know.
I've noticed that there's a lot of ties between like the current screamo scene and skate videos. You're seeing a lot of bands start to get like noticed through skate videos. Are any of you involved in skateboarding in any form?
I used to skateboard and then I broke my two front teeth skateboarding and now I don't skateboard anymore.
Oh no.
I just play Skate 3 and I really like Skate 3 a lot. Um, yeah, I really fuck with skating a lot. I watch a lot of Thrasher and I watch a lot of skate videos. Like I really, really enjoy skating, but I just don't do it myself.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. I skate, but like in a poser way. I don't like do tricks or anything because I'm scared of falling. Um, but yeah, I really love skate culture and skate videos are awesome. They're like, I don't know, they're so crazy always. I admire like people being able to just like throw themselves around and like keep getting back up. It's like
Yeah,
just wild.
I don't skate at all, but I had always like wanted to get into it, and I always play like skate games. Like I love like Tony Hawk Underground a lot, and like Skate 3, like Ethan said, I love that game a lot. And I also love there's this old movie called Gleaming the Cube with Christian Slater. That movie's awesome. It has Tony Hawk in it when he's like super young,
Hell
and
yeah.
it's a really
That
good
sounds sick.
skating movie. If anybody likes skating, definitely check it out. It's good as fuck.
Do you
I think
skateboard at all, Mac?
I do. I do. I'm super heavy. That's how I got into most of the video stuff was doing little skate edits.
it's sick.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think we've been put in like a few short skate videos, which I thought was really awesome. I hope there's more someday.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm working on I'm getting some footage for some Bughead stuff, so maybe a GodFuck song will end up in there sometime soon.
Let's
Oh,
go.
word.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
Let's see, what else did I want to ask? What advice would you guys have for somebody wanting to start their own band for the first time or start their own musical project?
I would say personally, not don't get caught up on trying to make something good because your first time making something almost certainly won't be good. You should just make it and try your best and just move on to the next thing. Iteration. I don't know. I was looking like I happened to like click through some of my old shit today and I was just like, wow, this is so trash. But it's like without that stepping stone, like you'd never be able to keep making music and get to where you are in the future. And so I would just say like don't get hung up on like quality control or like making things perfect. Just like make your music and we worry about that shit later. Yeah, I don't know. Just also you should, in my opinion, you should also strive to make something as unique as you can. I don't know. I feel like it's cool to make stuff, but it's also really cool to make stuff that's unique. So yeah, try to make some unique shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think all that's valid. A lot of times people, when they're writing stuff, they take forever to drop it because like they keep changing things or they want to edit stuff or the mix is bad and then they end up hating it because they like listen to it so much. And I think it's better to just drop things that you're working on and like quit worrying about it. And then in the future, you can always improve. Oh, and I think like being in a scene kind of helps too, like connecting with people that like make similar music to you that you can share it with.
I think that's probably the best piece of information for anybody wanting to do almost anything creative is like get involved in
Hmm.
whatever it is on a local level. Like even before you start making your own music and putting it out, like
Yeah.
go to start going to local shows, start like meeting people who care about this stuff. Same goes for like visual artists. I think like if you want to be a visual artist of some kind, it probably does you a lot of good to start going to like art shows or any kind of event like that in your local scene. In person interaction, I think has like so much more value than a lot of people think nowadays. I feel like the go to that most people tell you when you're trying to do something creative is like figure out how to advertise yourself on social media good. But I
Yeah.
think it's as like
I
social media becomes more and more of a monolith, like it seems even harder and harder to have any kind of breakthrough or like find community on it. I feel like it used to be easier, but the in-person stuff is still there, and I think more people should go and check it out.
Yeah, without a doubt.
No more comment warriors. Go to the show.
I mean, yeah, obviously, like if you don't have like anything near you, like if you live somewhere in the world where you don't have shit, like an online scene, like joining in like a Discord like BSTJ, that's like super valuable. But yeah, like
Oh, of course.
get out
Yeah.
in the world and like yeah, like meet people face to face, like that interaction. You can't. It's like fucking real life. Like it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't get better than that.
It's like really cool, like living in an era too where it's so possible to just make music on your own. Like you
For
don't really
sure.
need much. You can just like make a screamo EP on a laptop if you want to. So like even if you can't find people that are like-minded or want to join a band, you can still do it yourself.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a good time to make music. You should make some fucking music.
Yeah, there's like nothing stopping you.
It's a
They're
wild time for
they're
me
free
because like
DAWs.
I like always growing up in Western Mass, like there's nothing out here. And like I had always wanted to make music and I thought like, oh, I couldn't there's no way I can even make a fucking band or play shows. Like there's nothing out here. And like now I'm like doing shit and like playing shows and having fun. And it's crazy. Like there's a lot of stuff going on and if you just get out there, you'll definitely find something and you can make something happen.
Pretty related question. If you could go back in time and ask yourself, not ask yourself, if you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice, like when you had just started making music, what would that advice be?
I'd probably sit down and teach myself what MIDI is because I didn't figure out what MIDI was until like 2 years ago, and it opened up so many doors.
That's the obvious one. Is it's just like, oh yeah, I teach him everything I know now, so I'm better earlier.
Yeah, I'm honestly like pretty content with how things are. I don't know if I'd say anything.
Yeah.
Hell
Like
yeah.
even with like I don't know all the bad music I've made and like I don't know all my choices, I feel like things wouldn't be the way they are if like anything changed. So
Yeah,
No
I
regrets.
definitely would not
That's a
change
good way to
anything.
live.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
that's the actual answer. But if I had to say something, I would say the MIDI thing. But yeah, I agree with that for sure.
No regrets in parentheses MIDI.
That's so true.
yeah. I mean,
That's a
there's
t-shirt right
definitely
there.
like a bunch of stuff that like I probably could have improved on, and like I don't know in relation to writing, like making EPs and stuff. Yeah, I could have just like taught my past self everything I know now, I guess, but that's not fun.
Do you have any creative pursuits outside of music?
Uh, I I love making things. That's like my creative thing. I like making all sorts of stuff. Um, I when I was younger, I used to make like video games a lot, in my free time.
In like
And
Scratch or?
Unity 3D, if you're familiar with that.
Oh damn. Okay, so you were like really coding.
Yeah, like I spent like 12 hours a day for like weeks like making like video games and never releasing them or showing them to many people. But yeah, I really like doing that, and I want to do that more in the future. That's like a huge thing I used to do. I really like drawing a lot and like making physical art. I don't know. I just like making things. I really like making all sorts of things. I don't know. I just the idea of creating stuff is so nice to me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. I think Ethan's definitely more crafty than I am, like making physical things, but I just like making art and like doing digital art, messing around in Blender, um, traditional art sometimes, and then like making some electronic music on the side. But I guess that's still music, so
I don't. I just love music.
It's all good. What like what other hobbies or passions do you have, creative or otherwise?
I definitely love video games and I love like anime and like animation and shit like that.
Hell yeah. Y'all wanna give me some anime recs?
Um, if you have not watched Berserk, watch Berserk. I
I've read
highly recommend
Berserk.
that. You got I like the watch the 90s series. It's a really
Okay,
good
I
one.
haven't seen it, but I love that's like one of my favorite manga. That's in the top three.
I love Berserk and I love Cowboy Bebop a lot.
I love
I love
Cowboy
like older
Bebop.
anime for
Hell
sure.
yeah.
um, Evangelion, of
Another great
course.
one.
That's like uh, that's like a lot of the basis of this project too. I feel like
Yeah.
um, Lane's cool.
I love Lane.
I think
Love Lane.
Lane's kind of just Evangelion in like a different skin.
I have a big ass lane tapestry right behind me.
Oh,
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 sick.
let's go.
Wait, I'll throw a picture in the group chat.
Yes. I also agree. I think Neon Genesis is like my favorite piece of art or media like I've ever consumed ever. It was like so impactful for me. So that'd be like my recommendation if you've never seen an anime or right, if you have seen an anime but you haven't seen Neon Genesis, definitely watch Neon Genesis. I like all the classics too. Like everyone says them, but like Death Note and Full Metal Alchemist, like those go hard as fuck. And
Those are like also, yeah, those are some of my
yeah.
favorites.
I don't know. I wish I had like some like niche ass like recommend. Oh, you know what's a really weird anime that not a lot of people watch is Paranoia Agent. That one,
oh,
highly
dude.
recommend Paranoia Agent.
Okay,
I've
Paranoia
started that one. I
Agent.
haven't finished it. That
Dude,
one is crazy.
it's fucking crazy.
I feel like JC has to have some crazy like niche anime recommendations.
Uh,
Right?
uh, there's this one show called I love this show. It's called The Legend of Black Heaven. It's another 90s anime. It's about this dude that was in a band, and the band was like a huge band, but it broke up, and now he's just like this dude with a family working this like little cubicle job that he hates.
Okay.
And then out of nowhere, like this woman shows up, and she's like, "You're the prophet. You're from Black Heaven, right? Play me your song." And he plays a guitar, and she's like, "You need to come with me." And she's like part of this like space armada, and they're under attack from like aliens, and he needs to like
Holy
help them.
shit.
And it's
That's
like
insane.
it's fucking crazy, and it's really funny because there's this subplot where his wife thinks he's cheating on her with this woman, but he's not. He's just trying to save
Whoa.
the world. It's so fucking funny.
That sounds awesome.
I forgot to. I was just gonna say, it's like not super niche, but the original Fooly Cooly is like
I
really
love
good.
Fooly. I love the original Fooly Cooly. That's also in the top three.
What's your other top three? You said two
Okay,
of them, so there's another one.
shit. Okay, my top three is let's go with Fooly Cooly, Lane. I said Berserk the manga. I haven't seen the anime, so I have to give
Yeah.
a third anime. Damn, that's hard off the top of my head. Why can I not think of anything right now?
It's hard to
Uh,
remember shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Eden of the East right now, but that third
Dude,
one's gonna change at
Eden
any
of the
moment.
East is so good. I have that on Blu-ray. I've been meaning to watch that shit
I have it on
forever.
DVD.
I haven't watched it since I was like
It's
13.
so
Yes.
good. It's so good.
So good. Oh, or also Future Diary. That shit goes hard. I like Future Diary and how it makes no sense.
Have y'all seen
I think it's also called Myra Nikki in Japanese or something like that.
Detroit Metal City?
No.
No.
It's a
Detroit
No.
Metal City.
it's an anime about like a guy moves to Tokyo with the intention of becoming like a soft pop indie singer, kind of like I think he's like wanting to make like Stereo Lab type music, something like that. Anyways, but the only job he can get is as the vocalist for a death metal band. Um,
That's
and
awesome.
he has to be like evil, and he hates it. It's a funny show. I like that
He
one.
has to
It's
be
a good
evil.
like it's a good quick watch. I remember it being
Wait,
short, but I could be wrong
what
about
was
that.
that called?
Detroit Metal City.
Okay. That's
Oh,
awesome.
doesn't he go to like is this the one where he goes to America? I think
No,
I'm thinking of something else.
I think you're thinking of something else. There's an American. He has to like battle of the bands an American guy at the end.
I need to watch
Um,
this.
this
Yeah, it
is
sounds
like
awesome.
this isn't an anime. I guess like maybe it is if you want to consider it, but one of like the most awesome like anime adjacent pieces of media. There's this short on YouTube called Puperia that is like the most insane 3 minutes of like amazing hand done animation.
I'll look it
And
up.
I don't know if it's gonna be turned into a show or not someday, but it is so good. Like it's
Yeah,
unreal.
yeah, you should check that shit out if you've never seen it. It's really good. It's 3 minutes. It's amazing.
All right, I have it. It's in my watch later.
Yes. Enjoy.
Honestly, I could just keep talking about fucking anime. Y'all seem perfect on the
Yeah.
floor.
Wasn't that question like hobbies or something?
Yeah, hobbies. And then... You guys have a pretty. You guys use anime inspiration in your aesthetic pretty heavy. Am I wrong about that?
You are not wrong at all.
Yeah, the
Which is
sticker's got an
funny.
anime. Got a little. It's the Witch Doctor cover. Yeah.
It is. I feel like I could be wrong, maybe JC specifically about JC, but like I feel like we don't watch that much anime. I could be
Okay.
wrong though.
Yeah, I
JC.
definitely don't, but I think JC does.
Yeah, I have to
Okay.
keep it on the sleep.
Okay.
Like I fall asleep to Dragon Ball, you know, like
Okay, my bad, my bad.
yeah, no, you're good.
I used to watch it a lot when I was younger, and obviously I just watched Neon Genesis recently, so that was like a huge inspiration for me. But yeah.
Yeah,
I am slacking on like new anime. Like I don't watch like
I don't watch
Jujutsu
any new
Kaisen or any.
anime.
Yeah, the only newer one that I really like is Chainsaw Man. That one's really good. I love
That's
that
another one
one.
that I read and haven't seen.
Yeah, I gotta read the manga because the anime is over and the manga is not. It's one of those.
I'm a big comics guy. I tend to read something if it's like
Oh, don't
getting
get me
popular
started. Don't get.
rather
What do
than
you
watch it.
read? Huh? Do you
Hopefully
read
that
like other comics too, or just like manga?
Oh yeah, other comics.
Oh God. Okay.
uh
Is
I
that
hope
good
that
or
at least
bad? I can't
Naki
tell.
adaptation
No,
comes out.
no, that's good. I love superheroes. Like I could talk forever about superheroes. It's kind of bad.
Dude, I was like, I'm not as into the superhero stuff, but I still read a lot of like indie stuff. I just finished like Enigma. I've been trying to go through some old like Vertigo comics.
Okay, that's sick.
Hell yeah. I guess back to a more musical band topic. Do you want to take me through the songwriting process for our Godfuck song from beginning to end?
Oh yeah.
Discord.
Like like one of us like records an idea either on guitar or on drums or whatever, like some combination maybe, and then we send it to each other on Discord, and then we work on it and we send it back and we talk about it and we work on it and it's just all over Discord and that's kind of it. And JC hasn't been involved in that process because we haven't really written a lot of music since JC's joined, but for the LP it'll be more of like a all three of us collaborative effort, I think, which is exciting.
Yeah, I think it'll change a lot. Like we'll have some like online over Discord and some in person, which is going to be fun, I think.
Do you have a time frame for when that LP is coming out?
Man, we're so behind. We were supposed to like we had like a really good timeline going for it, and then Your Arms invited us on tour this summer, and that just like threw a wrench in everything. Thanks, Tyler. And
That's sick though. How was touring with your arms?
just like if you can't even put it into words, I feel like it was
Yeah, it's
really,
unreal.
yeah, it was
We
wonderful.
all, yeah, we all just are speechless
What's
about
your
it.
what's one of your favorite places that you performed at?
I think me and Pat probably have the same answer. I don't know. My one of my favorites was the Richmond Under the Bridge shit. That was like,
That's mine
Yeah.
too, bro. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's mine.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, yes, we're all the same there. Under the bridge in Richmond, there's this place called Hell's Gate. I don't know if you've seen the video of it. There's a video on YouTube you can find, and
Seen the
it's
clip.
just like, yeah, yeah, I'll send it real quick. And it's just like this crazy long bridge, and this like, it was like thunderstorming. It was like really windy and nice. It was cool. The bands were all like phenomenal. I don't know. It was just like fuck. It was really, really crazy, really
Yeah,
surreal.
it's like unlike any show we've ever played before.
Also, Richmond was just like a really cool city, and I think more bands should play there.
Yes, so true.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, like from playing under a bridge, I think also um, playing in Boston at the Crystal Ballroom was like super nice for all of like the other reasons where it's like there was like a dedicated sound person and like monitors and everyone was like super nice and like it went super smoothly. So that was like a really nice place to play. But in terms of coolness, uh, the Richmond show was like unbeatable.
Yeah. I think playing like unconventional venues has been a lot of fun. I feel like we always have a lot of fun with that, so I want to do that more.
I saw Machine Girl at Crystal Ballroom. I was trying to remember if I had been
Damn,
there. I
Wow,
have.
that's
Oh,
so
that's
sick.
sick.
that's crazy.
Who was playing on the
It's
bill?
like
It was Lil Kevo, Lust Sick Puppy, and Machine Girl.
that's
That's so
hard.
fire.
That's
I wouldn't have
crazy.
expected Machine Girl to play there. It's not like super big, really. I mean, it is, but it's not. I mean, maybe with like how Machine Girl is now, like they're selling out bigger places, but like it's like only 500 cap, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it's like there's like those two platforms. So if you want to be up close, there really isn't
Yeah,
that
right.
much room.
I like how
It's
that
like
venue set up a lot.
the mosh
It's cool.
separator.
Yeah, the mosh separator's nice, even though there's no moshing posters all over the place.
No one pays attention to that.
Nobody pays attention to it.
I don't think there were any when we played there.
I didn't see any.
People, I mean, I say people. I stage dived, but I think other people did too, and I didn't get yelled at. So
Yeah, I don't think they cared when we went.
Oh damn, you're able to stage dive? Okay.
Yeah, everyone was
yeah,
doing it.
it was kind of a struggle though because the
There
stage was
were
super tall.
there were no moshing signs everywhere. Like the place
Hmm.
was like covered in them for the
Maybe they
one
just
show I've
stopped
seen there.
caring.
Yeah, when was this?
Shit, when was this?
Like years ago?
Oh, it was exactly 1 year ago.
Oh
I
shit.
feel like I remember
Damn
that
near.
tour.
Because
Oh,
we went for my friend's 21st, or we went around his 21st birthday, and he just turned 22. So it was within within a couple weeks of
damn,
today,
okay.
I guess. Either
Yeah,
way, I
maybe they
don't
just
quite
changed.
remember.
Was there like a whole like tour with Lustig Puppy and Machine Girl around that time?
I think so.
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was like December last year, 2022.
It's a cool lineup.
Yeah, that's a really sick lineup. Shout out Lil Kevo. We had him on the podcast a while ago.
That's sick.
Sick.
Awesome.
I'm trying to get every cool Massachusetts musician on here at some point. Filming shows has been getting bigger. I've been seeing a lot of like Instagram accounts pop up that they just shoot shows,
At
including
Dilly
me.
Deli the other day, it was crazy. There was like 5 or 6 cameras all recording.
So many people with cameras at shows now, which I think
Yeah.
is sick. I think all the documentation is really cool. But once in a while, when there's like we're getting in the double digits for how many cameras there are, it's like all right, let's let a handful of these guys get the shot.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like this is like kind of niche, but I feel like they should have a backup. If like someone else was doing video, it'd be kind of cool if there was like an alternative way that they could capture the show, just so there's like I like I don't know exactly what that would be. It just feels like yeah, maybe it'd be like less repetitive to have like 3 or 4 people film, not like trying to shit on anyone. Obviously, it's cool as fuck,
No,
but
no, no. I want
just
people
a
to make
thought.
stuff, but
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. People have like backup plans or something.
I want to see people do fucking zines that aren't just photo books. Like if you want to come in, I want to see somebody do like a written review of a show.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to
Maybe with
say
like a
that,
couple
honestly.
photos. I
uh-huh.
think that
That'd
would
be
be
so
really
sick.
cool.
I agree
We need to
completely.
see some. I don't. I think that would be. I want to see more zines.
I agree. Yeah, zines. Yeah,
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
there
It
are
makes
there
me heat in
any
general.
are there any good like screamo fanzines right now? Does that exist yet, or is it all just internet shit?
I've only seen
There's,
internet shit
I think there's definitely zines around. Like, I feel like a ton of people make zines, but I don't know if there's any that are like popping off at the moment.
or like
But like,
screamo specific ones, right?
yeah, I've been like, I don't know, I've been handed zines like about the scene, I think, in general before. Um, can't remember any specifics, but like they're around.
I know
Hopefully someone pursues it.
Alex from Two Boys Kissing runs one, and they interviewed Ulf.
All
That's
right.
sick.
I always fall up the stairs.
I always fall up the stairs.
That's what they go
Okay.
by. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this might just be like a topic that I'm ignorant about. So like, if anybody listening right now wants to send me some zine recommendations, I'll take them. Shout out Hot Stuff Video Zine. That thing's cool.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, true.
You guys did an interview in that, right? Or am I
We're in
wrong?
it twice, technically. Yeah.
Twice?
Pretty
Hell
funny.
yeah!
Yeah.
All right, we're getting pretty close to the hour mark. These typically try and start winding down around the 50-minute mark. Do you guys have anyone you want to shout out? Anything that you think the people need to know about or hear about?
Damn, that's a thick question.
Yeah.
Let me think for a second.
Definitely, if you don't know about the Providence scene and you're not in tune with that, you got to get on that if you're from New
Get on the
England.
fucking Providence scene right now,
For
everybody.
sure.
If you're not paying attention to Providence, where the fuck are you?
If you're not going to Providence shows and you're from New England, what are you doing? Come on.
I don't go to Providence shows enough. It's sad to me. I live like 45 minutes away. It's like not that much
Damn.
harder to get there than to get to Boston, and I don't go nearly enough.
Yeah, it's really an amazing scene. So much love for that scene.
Rest in peace, Al Dios, dude. That was sad.
Yeah,
I got to
yeah.
go there before it shut down, and I'm very happy about that. But like, damn, that's a
Yeah,
bummer.
it hurts.
The show I went to got canceled. Like 3 songs into the last set, Versus Self was playing, and the cops showed up and shut the whole thing down.
Oh shit, was that the one where it got brought to Aiden's backyard or no?
I
Yeah,
think
that's what
so.
happened.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do remember that happening. It sucks.
Such a bummer. We
It
need
really
more
is.
somebody. If anyone out there has a basement or like a cool porch, the
I'm
best thing that you
fine.
can do, don't pick up a guitar, don't pick up a camera. Best thing you can
Have
do,
a basement.
open a DIY venue. Let some bands play in your
That's kind of
basement.
true though.
And
Or
make
do
it
both.
all ages venue, always.
All ages basement venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are no all ages house venues like ever.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to age gate shit. Stupid. You're already doing something that like the cops are gonna show up for, like most of the time. Like, come on. I shouldn't say most of the time, that's not true, but like it's already kind of like iffy. So it's like, I don't know, just make that shit all ages and make it safe. I don't know. I don't get it.
It's like worse when the cops shut down shows, like in terms of safety too.
Certain scenes in certain areas, I can kind of get it a bit more. Like if it's a very very like college show, having it be 18 plus, I understand because I don't know. I think the context depends, but yeah, there definitely needs to be more all ages venues. I'm not arguing against that at all.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm just saying I see why some people might want to age block it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's whatever the people running the show are comfortable with. As long, you know,
Yeah.
the important part is that the music happens, right? So,
Any more shout outs? Anything that the people need to hear?
Shout out Ulf.
yeah, shout out Ulf.
Yeah, Ulf for real.
I don't even know. Music is cool. Listen to more music.
Get involved.
Yeah,
Make
I don't
stuff.
know. I don't know.
Shout out all of Fifth Wave. All of the current Screamo scene.
Shout out my dad.
True. True. Yeah, I don't know. Shout out you. Thanks for doing this. This has been
Of
sick.
course.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
Thanks
you.
for coming on.
It
Yeah,
was
hell
really
yeah.
fun.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode of the Bughead Podcast. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time.